if we're going to make...
And welcome back to Plough Lane. George, 4-3, what is that all about?
Yeah, it was an eventful game. I think we can say that with absolute certainty. I think we deserved the win overall, but it's one of those games you're not going to forget. What is it with us in the FA Cup that mean we get this sort of games in this competition? It's all about the magic of the cup tonight.
It certainly is. Oh, let me just... Oh, I'm so excited. I literally am just... 1 second. Oh. There we are.
Got there in the end, Stu.
Yeah, so George, just give a quick overview of what the game was like.
Yeah, so they took the lead after 70 seconds after some not great defending from us, let's be honest. Dan Shoker gave the ball away fairly cheaply. They took the lead. Later on in the first half, we started coming into it a bit more. We got a deserved equaliser and then went ahead just on the stroke of half time. Went into the half deservedly leading, in my opinion. I don't think there'll be many people disagreeing. Maybe some will say a draw would have been fair at half time, but we went in 2-1 up. Then second half, we started on the same way we ended the first, rushed to 4-1 up, made changes, looked like the game was killed off, and then, a couple of defensive errors towards the end made it a slightly nervy final 20 minutes. But, we hang on in there, we did what we needed to do, and we're in the draw on Monday night, and that's what really matters today.
Superb. Yeah, so sorry, just literally as people are heading out, I don't know where to start. I'm absolutely... I will say,
it's a good game to do a post-match when both of us are just speechless from what we've seen.
I will say, though, that when I 4-1, I did say to you, we do have 4-3 games sometimes at Cheltenham.
Yeah.
So I hate to sort of bring it on you. I sort of did in a way.
Yeah. We'll blame you for this. But what I'll say is the last time we did it and a player made his debut, that game got expunged.
That's right, it did. I'm literally, because so much happened, I'm literally just going to go through the tail of the tape. It's got cold here, George.
Yeah, you mean it's got cold after dark in December? This is completely unheard of, Stu.
It's cold, George. So let's think. So first half, early goal.
70 seconds or 71 seconds according to...
Was that how it was 70 seconds in?
71 seconds according to our friends at BBC London. So it's one of them of just, it was poor defending. Dan Shoker gave the ball away fairly cheaply. And then Alfie May found some space, got the shot away. In the second you give Alfie May space in the penalty area, you're not going to keep it out no matter how good a goalkeeper you are. Poor start from us, but we came into it then. As we'll go into the slide in a couple of seconds, but it's not the best start from us, and Cheltenham, dream start for them.
Definitely. Sorry, I'm catching up with you now. I'm literally my hands are just starting to defrost, as they say. So 1-0 early lead, but we kept in with it. I felt, there was 4,300 yesterday, wasn't there?
4,300.
I felt the atmosphere was really good in terms of, I felt we kept on it, and I suppose when the equaliser did come,
what do you guys do?
It wasn't bad, was it? It wasn't bad in terms of a Luke McCormack ball onto Sal, and to be fair, he made that finish look very easy.
Yeah, I mean that was a great goal, the leveller. As you said, incredible ball from Luke McCormack. He's really starting to show his class now. What we all know he's capable of. He started doing that in the last couple of games. And it was just a classy ball and a very classy finish from Ayub. Ayub had one of those days today when I don't think there was any defence in the league that could contain him. And I think that showed true. I mean, we saw, we'll come on to talk about it, but the way they changed their entire shape in the second half just to deal with Ayub Assal. And I think, they struggled to cope with him early, and that goal from him was superb.
Well, yeah, because if we sort of look up to that goal, they literally didn't really want to defend, did they? You could tell Chris Hussey didn't want to get too tight, and there was no real sort of. I think if you look at it, we kept the ball really well, and I know sometimes we can be frustrated when we go back, but we actually in the end did manufacture a lot of one-on-ones.
Yeah.
And Asal was the danger link, and then obviously 2-1, Ollie Palmer, have to say, we said pre-match to me, Luke McCormack has been playing excellent. It's a shame in a way he didn't get the goal, because what did it do? Hit the stanchion, didn't it?
Hit the stanchion, yeah. From a long way out, and then thankfully we've talked about it on numerous shows so far this year of when that second ball doesn't fall for us. it's starting to change that way now, because that rebound fell straight into the feet of Ollie Palmer, who calmly converted to make it, to give us the lead going into the half. But I think it's, feel for Luke McCormack, he deserved a goal today, and he deserved that goal, because if he did, then I think we'd be seeing that across social media for the next couple of weeks as the goal of the round.
Definitely, and as you can see, emptied out now, but you can see the ground stuff, the lawnmowers. Well, it is a lawnmower, isn't it, basically? But I have to say, Kings Meadow had the most noisiest. These are not too bad. You can probably just hear in the background here, but they're not too bad. But as you can see, recovery now for the pitch is all happening now. But it's atmosphere. Do you know what? I've really enjoyed the atmosphere today, and I felt even at the 2-1 going to half time, it was a case whether Cheltenham come out really having a go, wasn't it? But I think we knocked the stuff out within 10 minutes. We had another goal.
Oh yeah, that's the thing. It was always going to be about that. Obviously they made the change at half time, bringing on Matty Blair. They changed their shape to sort of a back three.
They matched us up in a way, didn't they?
Yeah, to match us up, to go to a flat back three. Obviously thinking that would help him deal with Ayub, who was creating havoc, as we've talked about in the first half. And then, 2 quick goals at the start of the second half with, obviously Ollie Palmer going 4-1 up, and then it killed the game. It should have killed the game, I should say, because when we went 4-1 up, we made the triple chain. Egley came on for his second debut for us. George Marsh came on a return from injury. Aaron Pressley came on to try and just give Ollie Palmer a rest. And at that point, the game could have, and perhaps should have been dead. But sadly, it didn't work out that way.
Yeah, and like I say, they made the first sub, didn't they? Matty Blair at half time. Then they brought on Christian Norton, Andy Williams, who ended up getting the goal, and Charlie Raglan. They went for it, didn't they?
Yeah.
At 4-1, let's be fair, the Ollie Palmer goal at 4-1. Asal, I thought, got taken out of waist height.
Yes.
The referee didn't go back and book him. And I was sort of saying to you today, wasn't it? It feels like you can get a booking now for dissent rather than fouls. But went over, Ollie Palmer basically told Rudy to get out of the way in no uncertain terms. And then we were like directly in line where we just curled an absolute. At 4-1, that should have been game over. Yeah,
it really should have been. And I mean, especially when you consider the class of the goals. Those goals, they were all really well worked, really intricate goals. We did everything so well today in the attacking third. And at 4-1, I mean, it says everything, but the fact there were 470 odd Cheltenham fans here today, and a large number of them left when it went 4-1. That's how in control we were at that stage and how dangerous we were looking. And I think if you'd have asked anyone in the ground, I know me and you were saying there's another goal in this, but I think at the time we both felt there would be more goals, but I think we felt they'd be maybe our way or they might get one back. But I think everyone in the ground probably felt the game was dead when it went 4-1.
Yeah, and Robert made the substitutions, so he brought on Eddie Carger, George Marsh and Aaron Presley, and took off obviously Aaron Sal, Andy Hartigan and Ollie Palmer. It was the right sub, it was the right thing to do. I think the problem you have with it today is Cheltenham had nothing to lose, did they?
Yeah.
And just went for it.
Yeah, and that's the thing, I mean, they did go for it, because at 4-1 in the FA Cup, it's not like in the league where if it goes 4-1, you maybe start holding back a bit and saying, let's keep our dignity, protect our goal difference. They really started when just like, if we're going to lose 4-1, we may as well lose 7-1, let's go out and try something.
Yeah.
And they did, and they got the goal back and went 4-2 very quickly after that. A poor own goal, I think it's probably the kindest way to describe it, from Ben Hennigan, who headed past Nick Zanev, who perhaps wasn't expecting it to go home. But and then 4-3, very nervy final 10-20 minutes.
Do you think, obviously we took Andy Hartigan off, didn't we? And we sort of lost that calmness of recycling the ball, keep passing it through that. Is that, now looking at it, we've won 4-3, are we now thinking, do you know what, that's some good minutes for Eddie Carger, Aaron Presley? Yes, we have won the game, it was a tough 20 minutes, but actually there's some good character in there, because let's be fair, Cheltenham missed. Well, Zanev had done 2 saves in the space of a minute, didn't he? And then they had a few,
and they were both
chances.
very, very good saves for Nick Zanev, by the way.
And then they had a few chances. But actually, do you know what? Seeing out that game in the cold light of day won't do them any harm.
No, it's right. And if you'd have said to us we progress in the cup with Egley Carger getting half an hour, with George Marsh getting half an hour, we would have been more than happy with that. So it was. It was a little bit nervy towards the end, but it was job done tonight, and that's the really important thing. We're in the next round of the cup. Players who needed minutes got minutes. and we're in a position now where we can, go forward. Look forward to the draw on Monday night, and hopefully Egley and George Marsh and Aaron Presley can be in a position to start building up their minutes and have a bit more involvement over the Christmas period when we're going to need the bodies.
Definitely. We just swapped cameras because George's phone looks like it's cold and it's just got a little bit stuck. So you've got me on the F side now, so you've got a better side on me now, if you're being, to be fair. Let me just take off that, we'll move over. So if we look at, I'm just laughing here, by the way, there was a bit of Luke McCormick and Chris Hussey got booked for an argument, which is one of the websites. I love how it says that. But there was a big cheer here at the end of it. We're now, George, in the third round for the 5th time since we entered the league. That's not bad. And look at some of the draws we've had in the third round. George.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's the third round when it, without ripping off on the sound of the cup, it's when it starts, mattering. It's when the money comes into it. It's when you can get that glamour tie, that money spinning tie that we talked about pre-match. If we can get Man United, or a Chelsea, or a, I mean, we've done the Emirates, but if we can have a tie like that, we can earn a lot of money and start building for the future in a good way. And that's something we have to be watching out for on Monday. And it showed through that celebration towards the end of, it was a bit nervy, but we're all glad we held on. We deserved to hold on, in my opinion. We definitely deserved the win over the 90. And we're in good stead now. It's another win. We're starting to rebuild a bit of form when we'd been struggling in the past. So, job done today. I think that's the easiest way to say it, despite the nervy finish.
Definitely. I'm just trying to get a way of avoiding being over. That's one way, Stu. Just seeing Michael Duff is coming out now for some interviews. Co-fine Mark Hendricks, Kevin King approach of football don't half make it difficult for ourselves by conceding so many. Yeah, we are conceding a lot of goals. There's no way around that. There's no doubt about that. Just looking at some round scores around Bristol Rovers beat Sutton United. They were 1-0 up at half time. Port Vale won at Burton Albion. Cambridge beat Exeter. Shrewsbury won at Carlisle. Mansfield at Doncaster. Doncaster just can't buy a win.
Obviously, in the wake of sacking their manager in the week.
And look at that. What do you want if you're an Ipswich fan? You do not want a replay at Barrow. A 0-0 at home to Barrow.
Our thoughts and prayers from everyone at Portman Road. Right, that's not going to be the week before Christmas, going to Barrow away on a Tuesday night in a cup replay. That's not going to be fun.
Orient beat Tranmere 4-0. Hartlepool, Lincoln again. Can't buy a win. Hartlepool won at Lincoln. Harrogate win at Pompey.
I think that's probably the surprise of the round, isn't it?
Yeah.
Portsmouth, a very good team, getting turned over by Harrogate at home. You don't expect to see that. It'll be interesting to see how they bounce back in the league.
Definitely. Okay, well that's us from now. Thank you for joining us. Hope you've enjoyed the post-match and the Wombles march on to the third round. And let's see who we get tomorrow. Big tie, but let's get a decent draw. Don't forget, Sunday Night Live tomorrow night. We will